Jesus Christ. Alright, so recently I made a video talking about the things I want and don't want from a new Kendrick Lamar album, and it did pretty well, so I decided to milk that cow for all it's worth and make a video about the 10 best Kendrick Lamar songs. And my god, was this list hard to make. So before I start, I'm gonna name some honorable mentions. These songs didn't make the list but were extremely close to making it. So it goes Untitled 2, 5, and 8, Fear, Pride, DNA, Good Kid, Mad City, Real, Backseat Freestyle, Rigor Mortis, For Sale, Wesley Theory, Model Man, Alright, Mama Said, Complexion. So basically every song on To Pimp a Butterfly that's not on this list. Alright, so now that that's taken care of, here are my picks for the 10 best Kendrick Lamar songs. Kicking off our list is Keisha's song. This is pretty much Brenda's Got a Baby Part 2, and I mean that in the best way possible. How Kendrick managed to tell such an intricate, layered, and detailed story in a 4-minute track is amazing. The amount of storytelling and writing techniques used in the song is kind of mind-blowing, and it might be one of the best written songs of all time. I love how he tells us so much about the main character's life story and then how abruptly he raps about her death. It's a chilling and small detail that alone contributes so much to the song and to the themes of it. Kendrick's ice-cold delivery of the verses is also a really nice touch, showing that he's become immune to these kinds of stories, or that he's had to think about this situation in particular for such a long time that he basically doesn't feel anything towards it anymore. This is easily one of the best storytelling songs of all time. So at number 9 is Institutionalized. The production on this song is amazing. This is one of the best mixed and mastered songs that's not on Dr. Dre's 2001. The drums in the song are phenomenal, and I love the sample that's in the background. Taz Arnold's Zoom 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 bridge was fantastic, and fucking Snoop Dogg of all people has a fantastic hook. I loved how playful it was, and yet it still had a pretty good message, and Snoop's voice fits the song so perfectly. Kendrick's high-pitched kind of block delivery is intoxicating. From how sonically pleasing the song is, it could have warranted a spot on this list, but Kendrick manages to take it a step further and add a pretty well thought out message about being institutionalized. Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst takes the number 8 spot, and my god is this song amazing. The first half of the song is from the perspective of two people. The first verse is from Kendrick's friend moment before passing, asking him to make a song about him and his brother who also died earlier in their life, and the second verse is about Keisha's sister, telling him how she didn't like the fact that he put her sister's personal life out there for the world to listen to. The second part of the song is basically Kendrick's perspective, talking about how these two events shaped his life as well as himself as a person. It's a beautiful song, and even though it's extremely long at 12 minutes, it's absolutely worth those 12 minutes. Kendrick tells a story that's honestly better than some movies. I know a lot of people will question me placing it so high up on the list because this is regarded by many as not just Kendrick Lamar's best song, but as the best storytelling song in general, and my reasoning is because the beats, because it goes on for 12 minutes and it's basically just a simple loop, becomes extremely repetitive, and Kendrick's monotone delivery, whilst I appreciate the narrative significance of it, makes the song feel a little boring at times. At number 7 is Money Trees. Why? Because that's just how I feel. Oh my god, I wrote that joke. Oh my god, I actually thought of that joke. I'm so sorry. Alright, so I love this song pretty much because it embodies everything I loved about Good Kid, Mad City, which is the best album of all time. The amazing and bouncy production paired with Kendrick's playful flow, cadence, and delivery makes for such a fun and entertaining listen. You can pretty much play this song anywhere at any time, and pretty much everyone will love it. However, just like most songs on Good Kid, Kendrick adds an amazing message behind the fun and catchy production and hook. The song is basically about the lengths Kendrick and his friends would go to get money. At one point, he talks about having an STD by saying hot sauce all in our top ramen, which is a line that I never caught until like years after listening to it for the first time. Also, it has one of the best features of the decade from J-Rock. At the number 6 spot is For Free. When it comes to double entendre rap songs, this in my opinion is easily the best. The entire concept of using a relationship with a girl to portray the way African Americans have been treated by the government seems like a simple concept, but it's how Kendrick does it that makes the song amazing, using metaphors and, like I mentioned, double entendres to get his message across, and it's genuinely mind-blowing at some points. I could break down the entire song, but that would take way too long, but it's an amazing song and you should definitely check it out if you haven't. I love the jazzy production and Kendrick's bebop delivery. It makes the song so unique and also adds a sense of humor and lightens the mood and tone of the song. Bringing us to the halfway points on our list is Swimming Pools. Again, the same thing I said for Money Trees applies to this song but tenfold. Kendrick manages to mask an anti-alcohol song and anti-substance abuse song in a drinking song, and the only person to execute this idea as well as him is Andre 3000 on Hey Ya. The song doesn't have as much depth as others on this list, but that's more than made up for by the insanely catchy hook and amazing production. Even though many other rappers have tried this concept, like the walking, talking embodiment of mediocrity that is J. Cole, none of them have managed to do it as well as Kendrick. Just outside the top 3 is Blacker the Berry. For those of you who aren't able to tell, I'm from South Africa, and hearing Kendrick compare the Bloods and Crips to the Xhosa and Zulu blew my mind when I first heard it. How he drew that connection and the amounts of similarities he draws between them is astonishing. I loved how angry and passionate he sounded on the song. I love the concept behind the song as well, with Kendrick pretty much telling white America exactly how he feels and talking about the problems, pain, and suffering they've inflicted on his people, and he manages to do that without sounding corny and fake woke. The idea of spinning and owning stereotypes as a positive rather than a negative is incredibly powerful, and the song also has an amazing production, and the chorus is also extremely catchy. This is definitely not just one of the best Kendrick Lamar songs, but one of the best songs of all time, and the fact that it doesn't crack the top 3, well, honestly I could have said the same thing about Keisha's song at number 10, is a testament to how truly amazing Kendrick Lamar's catalog is. At the number 3 spot is These Walls. This song is the best written rap song of all time. How he plays with the phrase "these walls" throughout the entire song is genius, using the phrase on the first verse to talk about, these walls, then using it as a metaphor for prison, being surrounded by these walls, and finally uses it to symbolize the walls of his mind. Now that on its own is amazing, but the beauty of the song is how smoothly and effortlessly he transitions between each meaning of the phrase, and I don't think I'd be able to explain that really well. You just have to listen to the song yourself. The production on the song is fantastic, the instrumental is super bouncy and infectious, and the hook is really catchy and probably the biggest earworm on To Pimp a Butterfly. In the runner-up position is How Much a Dollar Cost. This is the best storytelling song in rap. There, I said it. Fuck all of your Brenda's Got a Babies or your Dance with the Devils. I can see all the mini Stanleys typing out their self-titled song by Eminem, or your I Gave Your Power. Fuck all of your favorite songs. How Much a Dollar Cost is the best storytelling song of all time. Not just because of how detailed and vivid the picture that Kendrick paints is, even though it is. Not just because the beat is amazing and plays a role in the eeriness and overall story of the track, even though it does. Not just because of how amazing the rhyme schemes, wordplay, and double entendres were, even though they were, but because the song is similar to a movie, where it's not just a fantastic story, but it has multiple themes, messages, and meanings, and unlike in movies which need 2 hours to do that, Kendrick does that in around 5. How Kendrick manages to use metaphors, symbolism, and foreshadowing in the song is mind-blowing, and how he manages to tie the messages of how we all have a piece of God within ourselves, how greed and pride is inevitably what leads to our downfall, God's wrath and test, and the importance of giving to those less fortunate, and how it not only benefits them but also yourself, is amazing. And this song would literally be any other artist's best song, but not Kendrick, because he manages to outdo himself with the song in my number 1 spot, which is You. This is the most introspective, heartfelt, and personal song I have ever listened to in my entire life, and it even goes to the point where I want to turn off the song because of how hard it is to listen to Kendrick's internal struggles, and just how uncomfortable and unsettling it is to hear someone dissect themselves in that way. At moments it sounds as if Kendrick genuinely hates himself. It's basically like listening to the most heartbreaking and lowest points in a person's life, but you can't stop listening to it no matter how much you want to. I'm not sure if anyone else thought this, but when I listen to this song, with the amounts of sound effects and background noises there are, like the sound of Kendrick's lips smacking against the bottle, It helps to create such a vivid picture, and honestly, the music video for the song is exactly how I imagined the scene when I first listened to the song. It manages to tell a story and paints a picture without actually really doing anything much to paint a picture. Kendrick's flow, chorus, and multi-syllable rhyming on here is fantastic, and the production helps to create a somber, heart-wrenching tone elevated by Kendrick's words. And this is not just my favorite Kendrick Lamar song, it's also my favorite song of all time. So that's my list for the top 10 best Kendrick Lamar songs. Let me know what you thought about it. Let me know your favorite Kendrick Lamar songs in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe.